Some of the most expensive semi-automatic rifles of the Wild West. In this video, we've broken down some of the most cutting-edge gun tech of the Wild West era, so make sure to watch till the end. The 1873 Winchester, also known as the Model 1873, was a lever-action rifle that became one of the most popular firearms of the Wild West era. Developed by John Browning and manufactured by the Winchester Repeating Arms Company, it was first introduced in 1873 and remained in production until 1919. History. The Winchester 1873 was designed as an improved version of the Winchester 1866 with a stronger steel frame, a better magazine, and a more reliable mechanism. It was also chambered in the .44-40 Winchester cartridge, which could be used in both the rifle and the Colt single-action army revolver, making it a popular choice for cowboys and frontiersmen who needed a versatile and reliable firearm. Description: The 1873 was a lever-action rifle that could hold up to 15 rounds of ammunition. It chambered in several different cartridges, including the .44-40, 38-40, 32-20, 22 rimfire, and .45 Colt. It had a barrel length of 20 or 24 inches, and the standard model had a plain walnut stock with a blued finish. The rifle was also available in several special order configurations, including octagonal barrels, pistol grips, and custom engineering. Notable users. The 1873 Winchester was used by a variety of people during its heyday, including cowboys, lawmen, outlaws, soldiers, and hunters. Notable figures who used the rifle include Buffalo Bill Cody, Annie Oakley, Teddy Roosevelt, John Wesley Hardin, Butch Cassidy, and the Texas Rangers. It was also used in several historic battles such as the Battle of Little Bighorn and the Spanish-American War. Notable mentions. The 1873 Winchester has been featured in countless Western movies, TV shows, and books, becoming an iconic symbol of the Wild West. It was known for its reliability, accuracy, and ease of use, and its popularity helped to make the lever-action rifle one of the most popular firearms of the era. Today, the 1873 Winchester is highly sought after by collectors and shooters alike, with original rifles fetching high prices at auctions and gun shows. In conclusion, the 1873 Winchester lever-action rifle was a game-changer in the firearms industry, setting a new standard for the reliability, versatility, and ease of use. Its popularity in the Wild West era and its iconic status in popular culture have made it one of the most recognized and sought-after firearms of all time. The Spencer rifle was one of the most significant weapons of the American Civil War. It was a breech-loading lever-action rifle that was invented by Christopher Spencer and produced by the Spencer Repeating Rifle Company. The Spencer rifle was chambered in .52 caliber rimfire and could hold up to 7 rounds in a tubular magazine located in the buttstock. The Spencer rifle was a game-changer during the Civil War. It was faster to load and fire than traditional muzzle-loading rifles at the time and had a higher rate of fire. The Spencer rifle was also more reliable and accurate than many of the other rifles at the time. It was particularly effective when used by cavalry units, as it allowed them to deliver rapid and accurate fire from horseback. The Spencer rifle saw extensive use during the Civil War by both the Union and Confederate forces. The Union Army purchased over 94,000 Spencer rifles during the war, and they were used by several cavalry regiments. Confederate forces also used captured Spencer rifles, and the rifle was particularly prized by the Confederate cavalry units. After the Civil War, the Spencer rifle continued to be used by the U.S. Army and saw action in several conflicts, including the Indian Wars, the Spanish-American War, and the Philippine-American War. It was eventually replaced by newer bolt-action rifles in the early 20th century. The Spencer rifle's design and technology were innovative and influential in the development of later firearms. The rifle's tubular magazine, lever-action mechanism, and breech-loading design were all features that were later incorporated into other firearms, including the Winchester Model 1873 and the Henry rifle. Notable figures who used the Spencer rifle during the Civil War include Union Generals George Armstrong Custer and Philip Sheridan. Custer was particularly fond of the rifle and famously led his troops armed with Spencer rifles during several battles. The Spencer rifle was also notable for its use in the Battle of Gettysburg. On the first day of the battle, Union cavalry armed with Spencer rifles held off Confederate forces for several hours, allowing Union infantry to arrive and secure the town. In summary, the Spencer rifle was a significant and innovative firearm that played a significant role in the American Civil War and beyond. Its design and technology infused the development of later firearms, and it was used by notable figures and in important battles during the war. The harmonica rifle, also known as the Vindicator and the Brevet, was a unique repeating rifle designed by Christopher Spencer, the inventor of the Spencer rifle. The harmonica rifle was patented in 1860 and began production in 1861. It was produced in limited numbers during the Civil War, and fewer than 1,000 were ever manufactured. Description: the harmonica rifle featured a unique sliding magazine system that was similar to the reeds of a harmonica, hence its name. The magazine held 7 to 10 rounds, and the rifle was chambered for .52 and .56 caliber cartridges. It had a 28-inch barrel and a walnut stock with a brass patch box. The rifle weighed about 10 pounds, 4.54 kg, and had an overall length of 48 inches. The harmonica rifle had a lever action, and the magazine was loaded by sliding it forward and back. The magazine spring was located in the magazine itself, which made it difficult to load and prone to jamming. Despite these drawbacks, the harmonica rifle was still considered to be a reliable and accurate rifle, and it saw limited use during the Civil War. History: the harmonica rifle was invented by Christopher Spencer, who also designed the Spencer rifle. Spencer was a prolific inventor who held over 50 patents during his lifetime. He was born in 1833 in Connecticut and began his career as a machinist. In 1860, he patented the harmonica rifle and began producing it in limited numbers the following year. The harmonica rifle was primarily marketed to the Union Army during the Civil War, but it saw limited use due to production difficulties and the popularity of the Spencer rifle. After the war, Spencer continued to produce firearms, including the Spencer carbine, which was widely used by the U.S. cavalry during the Indian Wars, people who used it, and notable mentions. The harmonica rifle saw limited use during the Civil War and was primarily used by Union soldiers. The rifle was issued to several cavalry units, including the 2nd Massachusetts Cavalry, the 1st Maine Cavalry, and the 1st New Hampshire Cavalry. However, due to the limited production numbers, the harmonica rifle was never widely used in combat. Despite its limited use, the harmonica rifle remains a unique and interesting piece of Civil War history. Its innovative design and connection to Christopher Spencer to make it a notable addition to any firearms collection. In conclusion, the harmonica rifle was a unique and innovative repeating rifle that saw limited use during the Civil War. Its sliding magazine system, which was similar to the reeds of a harmonica, made it a fascinating and unique piece of firearms history. While it wasn't as popular as the Spencer rifle or the Henry rifle, it remains a notable piece of Civil War history and a must-have for any firearms collector. The Hartford rifle was a popular lever-action rifle produced by the Colt Patent Firearms Manufacturing Company in the late 19th century. It was designed by Andrew Burgess, who worked for Colt, and was first introduced in 1878. The rifle was named after the city of Hartford, Connecticut, where Colt was headquartered. Description: the Hartford rifle was a lever-action rifle that fired metallic cartridges. It was chambered in several different calibers, including 45 to 70, 44 to 40, 38 to 40, and 32 to 20. The rifle had a 26-inch barrel, and the standard model had a walnut stock with a blued finish. It also featured an adjustable rear sight, a hooded front sight, and a tubular magazine that held up to 10 rounds of ammunition. The Hartford rifle was also available in several special order configurations, including octagonal barrels and custom engraving. History: the Hartford rifle was developed in response to the success of Winchester's lever-action rifles, which had become very popular among American hunters and shooters. The rifle was introduced in 1878, but production was slow due to technical issues with the design. It wasn't until 1880 that the rifle began to be produced in significant numbers. The Hartford rifle was primarily marketed to sportsmen and hunters, and it was especially popular among buffalo hunters on the Great Plains. The rifle's long-range accuracy and stopping power made it a favorite of these hunters who were often shooting and moving targets from long distances. People who used it, and notable mentions: the Hartford rifle was used by a number of famous American figures, including Buffalo Bill Cody and Theodore Roosevelt. Cody was known for his buffalo hunting skills, and he used the Hartford rifle during his hunts on the Great Plains. Roosevelt, who was an avid outdoorsman and hunter, used the Hartford rifle on several of his hunting trips in the western United States. The Hartford rifle was also used by the United States military during the Indian Wars of the late 19th century. The rifle was used by soldiers stationed at forts throughout the Great Plains, and it was highly prized for its accuracy and reliability in combat. The Hartford rifle remained in production until 1894, when Colt discontinued the rifle in favor of other designs. However, the rifle's reputation as a high-quality hunting and sporting rifle lived on, and it remains a popular collector's item among gun enthusiasts today. In conclusion, the Hartford rifle was a highly regarded lever-action rifle that was developed in response to the success of Winchester's lever-action rifles. It was primarily marketed to sportsmen and hunters, and it was especially popular among buffalo hunters on the Great Plains. The rifle's long-range accuracy and stopping power made it a favorite of these hunters, and it was also used by the United States military during the Indian Wars. Although the rifle was discontinued in 1894, it remains a highly sought-after collector's item among gun enthusiasts today. Well, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Have a good day.